estimating tool at see an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard, increase security, and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores. Fall is officially here, which means it's the perfect time to get outdoors and stay moving. If you're someone who enjoys going on walks in fall weather, but you notice heel pain in your foot when you wake up, it could be a sign of plantar fasciitis. A visit to Fleet Feet Lincoln can help you find the shoes and inserts you need to avoid that pain. Their Fit ID machine takes a 3D image of your feet and picks the shoes that work best for you. Visit Fleet Feet Lincoln, located off of 70th and Pioneers Boulevard, so you can stay moving.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Reunited and it feels so good. Stricky!
And it's understood.
It is understood.
What's up,
Long
man?
time no see.
Yeah, bro. I missed you on yesterday. Was down in Annapolis in Maryland for the Maryland baseball. They had a fundraiser, so it was good to get a chance to network with another Big Ten school, and saw an old NBA buddy, Walt Williams. They called him Walt the Wizard, and big time Maryland player back in the day. Kind of George Gervin-ish, a lot of finger rolls. Yeah, okay. He was real smooth, silky. Wasn't like, gonna super athletic but just smooth as silk type of dude. Yeah, Walt the Wizard. Look him up.
Nice. Might have to do that. Welcome back. Glad you're here. Good to be back with you on the block 2 to 4 weekdays. That's where you find us on the block.
It was a rough one getting here also.
Oh, was it?
3:30 wake up, man.
Whew.
Head to BWI.
Whew.
You know how it is when you just don't know what the airport's going to look like. And I know we got to get started and we've got a lot to get to, but you know how it is.
Which airport?
BWI.
Okay, yeah.
You just don't know. I mean, you use your clear. Are you going to go TSA? Sometimes TSA is better than clear because, it's taking time for it. And then you don't know how long the line's going to be. So it was, you got to go a little bit earlier than you normally would. I kind of know like here, hour. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in Dallas, depends, probably about an hour and a half, because if you're in C terminal, hour and a half. Because the freaking TSA line goes like a whole half a terminal. So it's crazy.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, man.
Glad you made it. We'll try to keep you up throughout the show. But
If
you need to doze off. Oh, I'm good. I am good.
Baby blues? No baby sleep blues?
No, not yet.
Nice.
No. Maybe I'm sleeping too much. You can ask my wife about that. But she's a trooper. Baby's awesome.
Love it.
Things are going great.
Yeah, man. Let's go, man. I know you killed it yesterday. A lot
Appreciate
of football
Nick
talk.
A lot of football.
A lot of great weekend. The weekend games weren't like sexy, but it was cool.
There's some good ones. Yeah. What is sexy and cool? Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
Absolutely. I had
Makes
it last week.
And feel.
I brought it in here.
Oh, yeah?
I went and picked up some sweet Southern Heat, and they had the catfish nuggets. I went in on them with some mac and some yams.
Yeah.
Yeah, right before I left.
Had the catfish nuggets for the first time on the grand opening.
Yeah.
Actually, hadn't tried them before. Oh, so good.
So good.
So good. Well done, Charles and crew. Check them out starting tomorrow at 29th and Pine Lake here in Lincoln. All right, our first topic of the day, Husker football related. We want your thoughts on 402-464-5685. Give us a call on the Honda of Lincoln hotline, a text on the Sartor Heyman text line, or if you're streaming in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, drop us a comment, and we'll get to your grades. But Strick, I want a 1 to 5 scale, stars, you're viewing restaurants here. Matt Rule, on a scale of 1 to 5 through 6 games, include the offseason, fall camp, summer ball, spring ball. Out of 5 stars, how many do you give Matt Rule for his job through 6 games for Nebraska?
I have to go 3.5. And the reason being is I thought they let it get away. I give him a 3.5 above average because of the fact that he doesn't have much to work with. The reason I'm more at the 3, I think they made an error in the Sims acquisition. So I can't give him too high of a grade because I just believe that I'm going to be honest about this. Even though I'm not totally Harburg in drinking the Kool-Aid on Harburg yet, I still believe that he's been able to get the most out of what they have, working with, Satterweight. White's been stepping up. So those hires and the acquisition of those guys and some of the guys on the defensive side have stepped up. Now, I still think their skilled positions need some work, and I thought they could have done better in enhancing that area in the portal a little bit more, as opposed to but it seemed that they went the development route, and that's why it still hasn't panned out, but I still think he's getting the most out of what he's put together so far.
You and I are in the same range. I think a 4 out of 5 would be a little too high. I think to me that means you hit on the quarterback. I think that would mean you beat either Minnesota or Colorado.
Yep.
You're above 500 at the midpoint, but you didn't do that. You let those 2 opportunities go. And you look flat against Michigan. Even if you were going to get beat, you'll look flat.
Yeah.
So I think before Friday's game against Illinois, I would have said, yeah, that's probably a 2.75, 3. Given how they responded against Illinois, I think that says a lot about Matt Rule, the leader.
Yeah.
Matt Rule, the coach and tactician. And we'll get to the infamous Sunday practice a little bit more in our next segment. But to call the players a little bit to the carpet, say Saturday against Michigan wasn't good enough. We're practicing Sunday. It's a short week. Even if Illinois didn't play its best game, Nebraska had a hand in that. The team responded to Matt Rule and that challenge. And I think that's the mark of a leader. So I'll settle into the 3.5 star range with you. Offensive side of the ball. Offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield. Out of 5 stars, where are you at with him?
2.75 right now.
Okay.
But I've got to move him into 3. 2.75 to 3. And a lot of that has to do with the injuries.
Sure.
Injuries, dropouts, not really having, but making adjustments. I think, looking at some option, just trying to figure out how to make things a little bit more simplified for Harburg and, making the decision to stay with Harburg and even with the pressure of, wanting and maybe trying to go back to Sims and just sticking it out and letting it play its course. And so I the decision-making part of that I think helps, but I'm still, got my voting laying to the side. I'm waiting. What is it? I'm not doing early voting. I'm doing,
seeing all
on
the
the day
ads,
of.
doing
Yeah.
all the research. I respect it.
Yeah.
I'm at a 2.5 for Marcus Satterfield. You give him credit for getting Heinrich Harburg ready to play. You absolutely do. I mean, that's a guy that was third, I guess, on the depth chart. It would have been Chubba Purdy if he hadn't had the groin injury. So you're essentially down to QB3. Hasn't looked like a world beater, but has done enough. Has done the bare minimum, and that's got to count for something. The injuries have to factor in as well. But this is where I go back to, again, the decision in the transfer portal and the type of offense he wants to run. If you want to throw the ball downfield more, like Matt Rule says you do, why go get Jeff Sims? Why not look for a downfield receiver threat in the transfer portal? A more of a Samori Toure type of guy than a Billy Kemp type of guy. That goes on Satterfield's docket. So I'm at 2.5 with a lot of those situations. Then the last coach to give 5 stars, a 5-star potential rating to Tony White, defensive coordinator. Where are you at with him?
I'm going to give him a 4. I think there's, like you said, the Michigan game for me, I thought, even with how good the run defense was, I think they were highly exposed. Didn't really allow the challenges on the receiver side of things. I also will say there's a couple of games early on. I want to even say Minnesota and even Colorado where they could have, well, not Colorado, I'll say Minnesota, where they could have closed them out. They gave way too much cushion in those instances late in the game, allowing for
quick passes to the sideline.
Just allow them to move up and didn't challenge them to make them to find a window. And so those decisions cost, I think, a game or so. But other than that, I think he's doing a tremendous job on the defensive side of things.
I'll give him 4.25. I will. I think the fact that you have so many guys playing so many different roles is huge. Guys we haven't heard of have stepped up, and you haven't noticed that they're new guys there. Nash Hutmacher has taken a step forward. The rush defense is elite to this point. Again, Nebraska took it away from some teams, maybe more so than teams expected them to. That's a big credit.
Still want to see more turnovers.
More turnovers, and the fact that he said he backed off the aggression against Michigan, I don't love hearing that from him.
No.
So that's a good little conversation on Husker football. We'll keep it going next segment here during On the Block.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system. Fall is officially here, which means it's the perfect time to get outdoors and stay moving. If you're someone who enjoys going on walks in fall weather, but you notice heel pain in your foot when you wake up, it could be a sign of plantar fasciitis. A visit to Fleet Feet Lincoln can help you find the shoes and inserts you need to avoid that pain. Their Fit ID machine takes a 3D image of your feet and picks the shoes that work best for you. Visit Fleet Feet Lincoln, located off of 70th and Pioneers Boulevard, so you can stay moving.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Husker fans, head coach Amy Williams and your Husker women's basketball team want to see you at Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. Season tickets are on sale now. Reserve your spot to cheer on the Huskers as they take on some of the best teams in the Big Ten and around the country. Opponents include Creighton, Maryland, Indiana, Iowa, and more. To buy tickets, go to huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED. They have a full season of fun set for this year. For promotional information, visit huskers.com.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread?
I can't stop eating it.
Rico,
Relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
it's time to close out the 2023 high school football regular season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman this Thursday and Friday for a doubleheader in the final week of the regular season. First up on Thursday, it's a matchup of 2, 3, and 5 overall teams as they fight for the final playoff spot. Miller North travels to Lincoln to face off against the Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest. And then on Friday, it's a top 10 clash between Gretna and the Lincoln East Spartans. All that and more coming your way this Thursday and Friday for high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and man, did the October incentives get better. You won't want to miss this. Happening right now at Koppel, you have 0% financing or $6,500 off MSRP on select new half-ton crew cab pickups. Yes, you heard right. Happening right now until the end of the month. 0% financing or $6,500 off sticker price. Those incentives are the best we've seen this entire year. Hurry on in while supplies last. Just take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus and with roof credit.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mostly sunny skies with a high of around 73. Tonight, partly cloudy with a few sprinkles possible, the low of around 55. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers, otherwise partly sunny and breezy with an afternoon high of around 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Butler for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known. But what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back on the block, Austin Norman and the Husker Hall of Famer Eric Strickland in the building with you for another hour and a half here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, Allo channel 951, and our free app for your phone. Still give us those grades 1 to 5 stars for Matt Rule, Marcus Satterfield, and Tony White if you have them. But Strick, there's a game coming up this weekend. Nebraska had its bye week after the win over Illinois, a bye week to prepare for Northwestern. The big thing that stood out to me was in watching the latest GB Rewind on YouTube was Matt Rule in the locker room, and he asked the team, the final thing he said to the team was Sunday night worth it? Sunday night after Michigan, you get blasted 45-7. You come back the next day and you're practicing in pads. Was it worth it? The team says yes. And to me, Strick, that's what I hope this bye week was about for this Nebraska football team. Putting in the extra work, doing something that might suck in the moment, it can be worth it. If you play together, you play as a team, and you work together as a team, you can respond to that adversity, getting beat by so much and going on the road and winning a conference game. It's that installation or that fire being lit of, hey, hard work does pay off, that I hope manifested over the bye week.
Well, it's easy to sink into, a corner, crawl into a space. I mean, we see it. It happens in boxing where guys will go off into, the great good night for a period of time. You'll see it in UFC. You can't see it in sports like baseball, even though guys go into what they call slumps. But the work has to still be put in. If you're in a slump, you don't go into the dugout, or you don't just say, well, I'm going to come out. No, you go and put in extra work. Is it your stance? Is it your grip? Is it your swing plane? Is it, so you go maybe watch film.
Is it mental?
You know what I'm saying? So you go and you got to put in the work. And so it's easy to get into a mode of complacency. Well, it's just another game. No, it depends on what you want it to be. Great example is the story we have at Nebraska when we went on a 10-game losing streak after starting 11-1. We found out and identified what the issue was, looked each other in the face, held each other accountable, and then had a discussion on what do we want the rest of this to look like. So for them, I can imagine, yes, this is a heart-wrenching moment. It is one of embarrassment. But what do you want the rest of your season to look like? Do you want to go bowling? Or do you just want to be happy with stepping on the field to, the clapping of, go big red? What do you want? That's the thing that I think that Rule moment was to the Husker football team.
At least the mental moment, because this is a program that has been beaten down, and Matt Rule's trying to downplay that, say that's not us. We weren't here. We have no attachment to that. But the players, some of them were here, and they do have that mental block. So, Strick, I hope that speech, was it worth it, opened their eyes to maybe they just didn't know what it meant to put in more work and what that looked like. So maybe it opened their eyes there. But to your point, too, you have to put the work in. It doesn't just happen because you have so many other opportunities on the schedule. There's not another Michigan facing you. And we'll keep talking about that throughout the week. There's not another Michigan.
Looks good.
Everything is in place, for Nebraska to make a run. And Matt Rule decried, looking big picture. Take it 1 week at a time. Absolutely. I come back to when you're going to put in the work, don't just be around the building more. Don't just do the same stuff you've always done. What are you struggling with? What is your weakness? Identify it and work at that. What is your strength? Keep working at that. Can I add a counter to my strength to keep the defense off balance, to keep the offense off balance a little bit more? It's one thing to show up. It's another to work with a purpose. And I think this last week, if Nebraska used it right, shows the team what working with a purpose looks like.
So it's multifaceted, right? One, it has to be individually. You individually have to look at your film, make an assessment on where you slow. Are you over pursuing? Are you Were you undisciplined in that cover 3?
Mhm.
Were you supposed to be over the top on that as a safety? I mean, that's you personally taking account on what you did. Then you look collectively as far as DBs, cornerbacks, safeties, rovers, whatever your position is, and then you look tandemly. Will, Mike, was I supposed to be in the gap? No, you were supposed to be in that gap and have accountability between you and your partner group.
Not calling
your
them out,
peer group,
but
not calling them out,
accountability.
but
There's a
accountability.
difference.
When you're watching film, it's an approach that you can make to a teammate, and you have to be tactful about it, because there's a person that I can go to and look him in the face and get right at him. Then there's a person I got to be tactful about it, get the same message across, but I kind of got to say, hey man, do you mind if I give you a little, quick feedback? I happen to be watching film and I saw something, that I missed, put it on you, and then address him. So there's some people that you got to deal with like that. And then some people you may have to take to the coach and say, hey, can we do this collectively? Because he may not take it from me. He may take it from you. So you got to have those type of conversations. Then it's collectively as a group. Then coach, whole defensive side, whole offensive side. So it's multifaceted. Those different levels of conversations and accountability have to be made.
Multifaceted building blocks, I think, is another way we can think about that. On the offense, we did have a response on the text line. Guilt Nerd gives the offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield a D minus, defensive coordinator a C, Rule a C plus. I'll say a D minus is a 1.5 to 2 star. A C would be a 2.5, and a C plus would be a 2.75, maybe a 3. On the offense, something that's going to be very important for these next 6 games, Strick, moving forward, is the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
We heard from Matt Rule in his press conference yesterday. Malachi Coleman is the starter. Jalen Lloyd and Jaden Doss are also expected to get some more run.
Yeah, they got to. This is the time. This is the time where you got to see what they're made of. You gave them enough week to make decisions. You put them out there. They make mistakes. Guess what you can do now? Hold them accountable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's not theoretical anymore.
You're not studying. You're not doing what you're supposed to. How can I play you? Put the onus on them. Like, hey, I want to freaking play you, but I need you to work. So this is this segment of the schedule where you can do that. Let them either step up or let them make the mistakes, in which case you can then address it in a manner that can get them to raise their level, or to really hold them accountable to where they then have to, it's on them to make a decision as to where they're going to go from there.
As I look at those 3 guys, Coleman's the one being talked about the most, big body, downfield threat. Did make his first catch against Illinois. Fascinated to see what he can do with more run. Jalen Lloyd, we've seen a little bit, not factor a whole lot in the receiving game, but has run a couple end around jet sweep sort of things. We know he's track fast. The one that intrigues me the most, though, is Jaden Doss. He's the one that I think was on track to play earlier in the year, but was dealing with the wrist, hand, arm injury. I think he can fill a Marcus Washington type of role. Nebraska needs more out of the passing game. Oh, it's
big loss for Nebraska. It really stinks to lose him. Yeah.
Even if Washington, at least in my opinion, isn't a true number 1, he's dependable. He does his job. He's in the right spot. You're better with him than you are without him. I'm going to throw this out to you, though, Strick. I get it. Anthony Grant's running back 1. Joshua Fleeks is running back 2 on the depth chart. I would rather see 75 yards rushing out of Emmett Johnson than 75 yards receiving out of any of those 3 freshman wide receivers.
Yeah, I think he's coming along very nicely. I like Emmett Johnson. I think he's shown flashes of some good abilities in the run game. So I'm looking forward to see a little bit more out of him. Definitely. He's going to be a future for you. He was a good get. And
out of
they
the
have
lane
more.
of Jay Foreman.
Yeah, they have more. I think they have more opportunities to land something in the running game. But I still want to see more out of the passing side of things from, even if you use Fleeks, like let Fleeks be your Ramir Johnson.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Absolutely.
want to see them work out of the backfield on angle routes, on option routes, getting them in a space against a linebacker or safety where you can use him as an option. I think it's an easier look than even out of the slot, because you've got to read a little bit more on the coverage
a
somebody
DB,
looking
a backer, someone dropping.
Yeah. You get him out on an option route, run those guys off. If you get some man coverage, if you get some zone, run him into a zone where you can hit him, get him a little bit of space to make a couple moves. Because if they're in a zone, those linebackers get to split and you run an angle route right up the middle on them, boom, get you another 4 extra yards. Let that be part of your running game. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me.
If the running game, if the linemen aren't getting the pushes they need, I think this needs to be a dominating week for the line.
Yes.
Like real talk.
Yes.
Like I'm not even playing. Like the line needs to dominate this week. And that would give them confidence. But use that out of the backfield from the running back position to be able to be a part of your running game. You see Oregon doing that a lot, where they'll do some plays where they'll quick out of the hands of the guy just to get it in space and use that as a part of their run option. So yeah.
Northwestern is allowing 172 yards per game on the ground.
Man.
Nebraska's rushing for right around 200.
Come on. Yeah, it's got to be a dominating.
Takeover.
Like I want to see more of Ethan Piper like he did when he pulled on a little
on that poor DB.
Man.
Yeah.
And he pancaked him. I think he even did it to a linebacker too. It was like a little I want to say it was a shotgun play, but it ran to the same side.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of pulled over and got up in what I've been seeing is them pulling into air. You know what I'm saying? Not
Find
pulling and getting up. You know what I mean? Like I've been watching NFL linemen and they're downfield 20 yards sometimes.
With a dude in their hand.
Man, getting it. That's what I want to see more out of our line.
I have nothing to add.
Yeah.
Bring it. Defensively, a couple notes. Phelan Sanford sounds like he did get a black shirt. Good for him out of, I think, Benkelman, Nebraska is where he's from. The guy that I'm really looking at defensively, though, Strick, is Malcolm Hartzog. Been up and down. You could excuse it last year as a freshman. He's had that starting corner job for Nebraska. We talked about him against Minnesota, getting burned on the double move, the fake inside and going back outside. To me, this is a big week for Malcolm Hartzog. Prove that you've taken that next step. Be another lockdown corner opposite Quentin Newsome, because teams haven't been able to run on Nebraska. So if they're going to want to throw it, make it even harder for them to throw it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Hartzog needs to step up. I mean, I think the 3-3-5 secondary has been playing, not too bad.
Solid.
I mean, they're giving up some yardage and stuff, but it's not. It seems very bend but don't break.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna give you certain things. They're gonna make a window tight for you. I want to see them be a little more ball hawkish
Yes.
a little bit.
Yes.
Not to the point where you're just not responsible in your trying to cut off or undercut, but really kind of being a little bit more hawkish. They need more turnovers. They really do. They got to find a way to strip balls or do something. They've got to be more aggressive in that. Maybe that's not the case right now. I think they're tackling better. I will say this is a better This is better than last year's tackling team. And at the end of the season, they did a little bit better, but yeah, I think they're better in space. They're doing a good job leveraging inside out. You can see they're technically sound in their abilities of tackling.
Ryan in Nashville on the text line says, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to go like it did last time in Lincoln. We unloaded on Northwestern that week. 56-7 would be a big ask, but I think Nebraska can still control the game and not win by 49 points. Northwestern came back and beat Minnesota. I think what happened to Minnesota against Northwestern is what happened to Colorado against Stanford. Minnesota got comfortable, got complacent, let a less talented team back in it. And we'll talk a little bit about Colorado coming up at 3:30. So no, Nebraska doesn't win 56-7. We'll keep talking about that game throughout the week. Pre-game coverage on Saturday will start at 11 here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're going to turn our attention to the shootout with Strick. It's that time, but with a twist, Stricky. What we got?
Man, we're going to give away some Northwestern tickets.
2 today, is that correct?
2 today and 2 on Thursday, along with $30 from Buffalo Wings and Rings. So call in for the shootout. You're going to get an opportunity to get a few tickets to the game as well, courtesy of the Big Red Brunch. I happen to win the bingo. And so I got an extra set of tickets. I would much rather donate them to you guys than for myself to even use them, because I care that much about you, and that's how we care about you on the block.
We love you, blockheads.
Yeah.
You got to beat Strick to win the tickets, though.
You got to do that.
402-464-5685. Take
or
on
we
the
give
Husker
away
Hall of
4
Fame.
on Thursday if you win.
Ooh, okay.
Don't let me be the champ.
Don't let it happen. 402-464-5685. Playing the shootout. 2 Huskers of Northwestern tickets, $30 at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Next.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
It's time to close out the 2023 high school football regular season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman this Thursday and Friday for a doubleheader in the final week of the regular season. First up on Thursday, it's a matchup of 2 3-5 overall teams as they fight for the final playoff spot. Miller North travels to Lincoln to face off against the Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest. And then on Friday, it's a top 10 clash between Gretna and the Lincoln East Spartans. All that and more coming your way this Thursday and Friday for high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Fall for savings at Bonsall Pool and Spa. Beginning October 13th, customers can take advantage of great cash and financing options on hot spring spas. Get up to $1,000 off a new High Life Collection spa or $500 off a new Limelight Collection spa when you pay in full, or get 0% APR for 60 months when you finance. This amazing offer ends October 23rd. Visit them at 33rd and Pioneers to learn more on how you can fall for savings at Bonsall Pool and Spa.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Experience flexibility like never before with Ace Rent-to-Own. Whether you're decorating a new home or upgrading your electronics, they provide easy payment plan options that suit your budget. No credit checks, no hefty interest rates, just straightforward renting solutions designed with you in mind. Find great options to make a beautifully furnished space or surround yourself with the latest gadgets. With Ace Rent-to-Own, it's all within your grasp. Visit acerentoown.com and bring home more than just a product. Bring home a lifestyle.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street.
From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
So, yeah, that sounded like Heinrich's the guy. I think he said again, Heinrich's got to improve his conditioning, which is one of the most confounding things I've heard. He looks like a decathlete. I mean, he's not a dumpy quarterback.
Oh, he runs
he's one
fast.
of the best looking athletes on the campus.
Look at the run he had for the touchdown in that game. He looked pretty
Look
fast.
at the dude. How can his conditioning be bad?
What is this about?
It might be about that they asked him to do about everything.
He's carrying it 20 times a game.
Right.
He's a quarterback.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now 464-5685 to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
That's right. The game is the Shootout with Strick. You take your shot with 4 questions against Husker Hall of Famer Eric Strickland. 4 for him, 4 for you. If you win, normally the prize is $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings, a fine sponsor of this segment. Appreciate them very much. But this week, there's a special twist. Stricky has tickets that he doesn't want. He wants you to have them.
Yes. I definitely want you guys to be able to partake in a Memorial Stadium, hopefully a win for the Huskers, and you got to come get it.
We have a guy on the line ready to try and come get it. We have Jason. Jason, what's going on? How are you today?
I'm doing great. Blockhead reporting for duty.
Excellent.
Yes.
We love to hear
We love it.
All right, Jason, you got 4 questions. Hold on the line. We'll give Strick his 4 first. Husker tickets are up in the air. All right, Stricky, the shootout round for you begins here actually, I'll give you the category first. Big Ten men's basketball. Big Ten men's basketball. Okay, Strick's round starts in 3, 2, and 1. They scored the most points per game in the Big Ten last year. Iowa or Indiana?
Iowa.
Yep, they allowed the fewest points per game in the Big Ten last year. Purdue or Rutgers?
Rutgers.
Yep, he shot the higher percentage on free throws last season. Joey Hauser or Boo Buie?
Hauser.
Yep, and he led Michigan State in assists last season. Who is it? Who is it? It's not Snap. Who is it?
What's his name?
What is his name, Stricky?
Hogard.
Hogard, the guess? Well done, Stricky. That is a perfect run. Wow.
I almost forgot his name, man.
I didn't know if I could trip you up with
I was trying
Walker.
to get you. No, man. Hogard, man.
Hogard is correct. All right, Jason.
All right, Jason, I'm making
Pressure's
it tough.
on.
Listen, tickets on the line,
The
baby.
only thing that runs through my head right now is Milli Vanilli, all or nothing.
Let's get it all. Let's get it all and go to the tiebreaker. Your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. They scored the fewest points per game in the Big Ten last year. Wisconsin or Minnesota?
Let's go with Minnesota.
Yep, they allowed the most points per game in the Big Ten last year. Iowa or Ohio State?
Ohio State.
It was Iowa. He made more three-pointers last year. Chris Murray or Terrence Shannon Jr.?
Murray.
Yep, and he was the only Big Ten player to score more than 700 points last season.
Your guy from Purdue, your center.
Yeah, what's his name?
I cannot draw his name off the top of my head. My son's gonna
Zach
kill me.
Edey.
Zach Edey is correct. Stricky wins. He is the champ. Jason, a valiant effort. Thank you for playing. We will give away $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. So call now, 402-464-5685 for your $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We'll hold the tickets till Thursday. 4 of them on the line.
4 on the line. 4 on the line. What I'll do is, if for whatever reason no one is able to take out the champ, we'll do like 3rd caller, 5th caller, and we'll still give them away.
Perfect. That'll be Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
2:45. Stay tuned. Tiebreaker, just for fun. This will lead us into next segment. How many Big Ten men's basketball teams finished last season ranked inside the KenPom top 50?
8.
11.
It was 11?
11.
Yeesh.
The only 3 that didn't finish inside the KenPom top 50.
Nebraska?
Wisconsin at 61. Nebraska at 94.
And Penn State.
And Minnesota.
Ooh, Minnesota. Yeah.
At 216.
Oh, yeah, Minnesota. I mean, Penn State went to the tournament.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I knew that.
11 of your 14 teams in the KenPom top 50.
Wow.
Nebraska has its highest preseason ranking in Ken Pomeroy history this year. We'll get to that. We'll touch on the Big Ten in men's basketball and football because I have this question for you, Strick. Is the Big Ten overrated in basketball and in football? We will get to that. We will get to plenty more as we continue here on The Block. With you for another hour, he's Eric Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. Come back with us.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and man, of the October incentives get better. You won't want to miss this. Happening right now at Koppel. You have 0% financing or $6,500 off MSRP on select new half-ton crew cab pickups. Yes, you heard right. Happening right now until the end of the month. 0% financing or $6,500 off sticker price. Those incentives are the best we've seen this entire year. Hurry on in while supplies last. Just take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus and with roof credit.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known, but what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Experience flexibility like never before with Ace Rent-to-Own. Whether you're decorating a new home or upgrading your electronics, they provide easy payment plan options that suit your budget. No credit checks, no hefty interest rates, just straightforward renting solutions designed with you in mind. Find great options to make a beautifully furnished space or surround yourself with the latest gadgets. With Ace Rent-to-Own, it's all within your grasp. Visit acerentoown.com and bring home more than just a product. Bring home a lifestyle.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 Tall Boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mostly sunny skies with a high of around 73. Tonight, partly cloudy with a few sprinkles possible, the low of around 55. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers, otherwise partly sunny and breezy with an afternoon high of around 69. And meteorologist Kyle Butcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 of the show taking place with a champ in the building. Stricky dominating win. Fresh off the plane.
Fresh off the plane, man. Refreshed in the mind, feeling good. Had a good little golf round. Man, couldn't ask for nothing better. The weather was I actually hit the ball really good. I made some clutch putts. I think I made at least 4 birdies for the team.
Let's go.
Shot a couple in, shot a couple in there tight. And I contributed. Let me just say I made some contributions.
Team player.
Yeah, man.
Way to go.
We went about 23 under, but there was other teams that were going way. They had a couple of guys that were some ringers, man. And I thought we played pretty
mercenaries.
Good. We played really good. They had this new thing where I don't know. I never did this with the string. So like you can use a portion of the string. Like if you hit it close enough to the pin, you can use part of the string to extend your shot. So this is why the numbers were so high. So like if you hit one in range, you could use it, and then you would have to snip it, and you can only use a certain more points of it, and you can add the strings together. Yeah, it was wild. But that's why the numbers were so crazy.
I like that.
Yeah,
It's
it was
like
pretty
making the
fun.
hoop bigger.
Yeah, it was fun.
Huh. Nice. Well, glad you're back.
Yeah, man.
Congrats on the shootout win. Big thanks to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul for sponsoring our show 2 to 4 weekdays here. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Streaming worldwide on our app or on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And for those of you who are in the Nebraska area, Allo, they sponsor our VIP line and channel 951. They understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. All right, Strick. We did Big Ten men's basketball for shootout because I want to talk a little Big Ten hoops, but tie in football as well. And the big question of, is the Big Ten overrated?
Mm-hmm.
I ask because the Big Ten will try to prop itself up as, the toughest basketball conference. It's a grind. No nights off in this conference. Okay, that can be true. I'm willing to buy that.
But
not the toughest conference. Look at the Big 12.
Yeah.
No nights off in that conference.
Same.
And you've produced a national champion in the last 2 years, not just the last 2.5 decades. The Big 12 teams are going to be ranked more than the Big 10 teams. I think there are 5 Big 12 teams ranked in the preseason top 25, 3 Big 10 teams. Now, 2 of them are very high, Purdue and Michigan State, both in the top 5. But then Iowa's your only other team with the number, I think, 23.
And I still
spot.
think that's iffy.
I would not have chosen Iowa.
I think that's iffy.
As that representative.
Maybe Wisconsin. Because the reason is, and look, and I'm not saying that, I would say Wisconsin more than Iowa just because of the veterans that they have coming back.
The NIT
instead
run.
of what they had in the loss, right?
Mhm.
Normally teams that make good, strong NIT runs or win it, if you just go and track history, usually that next season they have a pretty good run. I mean, I can't remember.
Usually a tournament team.
Actually, I think the team after we won the NIT was actually pretty good. I think I can't remember where they ended up in the Big 12, but I know they were very competitive. They were strong, and I think they actually even went to an NCAA tournament, but they didn't win. I could be wrong, but I know Vincent Hamilton was big. I know at one point he's Big 12 Player of the Year. I don't know if that was the next year or year after, but I know Tehran was definitely highly touted after that. I mean, we have to look it up and see. But normally most teams do. I mean, I remember Xavier made a big run. The next year they got into the NCAA tournament. Boom, they were very successful. So you look at those teams, I think they track better. The reason is Iowa to me is it's so much uncertainty. With, I mean, they may have recruited well, but you've still got to gel. Then you have issues you still have issues at Iowa with the gambling stuff. There's some stuff looming over them. And so I just don't know. I don't know where they're at.
McCaffrey's kind of the anti-Ferentz in that he's all offense, no defense, but I think Iowa wants a little more, especially given how their women's basketball team is doing.
Yeah.
Like, why can't the men break through and have that run? But
Purdue still, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I still can't get a handle on it.
They're being ranked really highly by the numbers, and I have a lot of these pulled up. Purdue, according to Ken Pomeroy, the number 1 team in the country. They have the number 2 rated offense, the number 14 rated defense in the preseason, number 1 overall. You have Michigan State as the next best team, top 5 in the AP
I
poll.
think they're dangerous.
I do too, but 13th according to Ken Pom. You have Illinois at 19, Wisconsin at 20, Maryland at 22 in the top 25 in Ken Pom. But again, no Iowa anywhere in there. They're rated in the AP poll. Compare that to the Big 12. You have Kansas and Houston at 2 and 3 in Ken Pom. You have Baylor, maybe underrated in the AP poll, number 7 in Ken Pom. You also throw Texas in that mix. You throw Kansas State in that mix. You throw TCU in that mix in that top 30 range. And then the Big East. You have UConn.
Yeah.
You have Marquette, Creighton. You have even Villanova, which is one I'm not fully sold on, but numbers are saying it. You trust all of those teams more than you do any Big Ten team when it comes to tournament time. They are just as difficult of conferences to play in the regular season. Maybe the Big East takes a slight step back because DePaul is garbage. Georgetown has been down at the bottom. Butler hasn't been very good. St. John's hasn't been very good, but they got
But they got
Patino now.
and they
Mhm.
recruited well in this last recruiting class.
Right. So I'm willing to
Mm-hmm.
give them the benefit of the doubt. But the other resource I had pulled up here was Evan Miyakawa. Does some really good college basketball analytics
Is
things.
he close with Tamanaka?
No, he does not look the same. He had, let me find this again here. Team ratings. So the Big Ten. This was KenPom again. My mistake. KenPom rates the Big Ten as the third best conference. The Big 12 number 1 with a 17.1 rating. The SEC at number 2 with a 16.4. Big Ten at number 3. A pretty clear number 3. They're a 1.5 clear of the Big East, but also a 1.5 behind the Big 12. So they're saying there's as much of a gap between the Big 12 and the Big 10 as there's the Big 10 in the Big East. The SEC fascinates me. I don't think there's an elite team in that group, but any of those top 10, 11, 12 teams could be an NCAA tournament team. That's a deep athletic league.
There's no question. Texas A&M is nice. Alabama did a wonderful job in their recruitment, even at the loss of, Brandon. Then who else?
Arkansas's
scary.
talented. Florida,
Arkansas,
Tennessee will defend.
Yeah. So
Kentucky is being slept on, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, they had the number 1 recruiting class.
Stack
So
and Vandy
they're
are here and there.
Yeah,
Mississippi State.
Yeah, so top to bottom, they're right there. I mean,
Missouri made the tournament last year.
I'm worried. about. Every year, as much as I didn't do it this year when I got into the tournament play. I didn't go with a lot of Big Ten teams like I normally had. I should have went with Michigan State. And here's the thing about college basketball: guard play. Guard play is important. Preferably 2 guards. When you have 2 strong guards in your backcourt, it gives you an opportunity to do some tremendous things. As much as you like the big man, it was shown and exposed at what guards and scrappiness can do to a team like Purdue.
Whose guards let them down.
Yeah.
Fletcher Lawyer and Braden Smith were fine as freshmen, but they are no Tyson Walker and AJ Hogarth.
No.
They're no Boo Buie and Chase Audy.
Exactly. And it was the same thing at Penn State. As much as, they were just kind of ugly, but their guard play is what
Pickett, Funk.
Yeah, man.
All those guys.
What helped them. So there it is. It's unfortunate. And this is why I think Wisconsin, because I think even though their offense is so, just blah and methodical, and I still think Chucky is a great lead guard. Now, if they're able to complement him, I think he'll be good enough because he defends. He just doesn't have help in the defensive category. And it's like I always hated that when you're the guy out front and you're scrapping and doing everything, and the guys behind you are just kind of, letting their guys have their way and so forth and so on. But that's kind of what Wisconsin is. And I can understand how frustrated. This is why I didn't think he would stay. Because, you want guys that's going to get after it the same way that you are. Now they may be working on that, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
Chucky's got to shoot a little better. And then I think he's there.
That is a fact.
Taking a look at the Big Ten in KenPom, I gave you kind of the top half of the league. You have Ohio State, who was 5-15 in conference last year, but rated number 35 by KenPom. Bring in a really good freshman class. You go to Northwestern, who loses Audige, but Bowie is back. They take a step back. How far, we'll see. Michigan, I am completely out on. You lose Dickinson. You don't get a guy like Love. You lose Jet Howard to the NBA draft. Yeah. I think Michigan's in for it.
Coach has been down. Obviously, shout out to him. Hope his recovery process with the heart is coming along really well, hopefully.
Indiana, I think, is underrated by KenPom. They're rated almost essentially equal with Iowa at 49 and 50. And then between Indiana and Iowa at 50, Nebraska's next at 58 in KenPom. The highest Nebraska has ever been rated in a Ken Pomeroy preseason rating was 80. So you're like, okay, that's a huge step up. That says to me, Nebraska is a solid NIT team. You'd say, well, there's 68 teams that make it. You got to factor in all the automatic bids from teams ranked lower. 58 says Ken Pomeroy projects Nebraska as a solid NIT team. probably a 3 or 4 seed in the NIT.
That's still an upgrade for them.
But 12th in the Big Ten.
I think that's crazy.
With it.
But I like the fodder. I mean, if I'm the coaching staff, I'm placing that, all over the locker room. This is what they think of you. What do you think of you?
Right.
Every time you play at a mediocre level, you're playing up. I mean, there's so many things I would use that as fodder. I mean, as accountability fodder as well. I mean, I'm talking about after games, it's plastered on a big board, and I'm showing them march their way up. Like each, you know what I mean? Like it would be like in there, it would be plastered, put in all of their lockers. This is how, something like, this is how they see you. How do you see you?
We got our hands on an opponent scouting report. This is how little they think of you.
This is how little they think of you. And then I would have a little placard thing similar to how they do on that what's that $1 million game that they play they every year. It's like they get all the college old college guys.
TPT.
TPT.
Yeah. Yep.
You know how you go and put the placard in after? I would have a placard of the Big 12. And every time we move up, who you going to get next? Who you going to get next? I mean, every week I'd want them to see that. You know what I mean? And challenge them to continue to get above that what is it? You have to be above 10, right? You have to be 9th to get that first day break. Is that right?
In the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah.
You have to be 10th or better.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I would be using that as fodder.
And you can win 8 or 9 games in conference play like Nebraska did and still fall into that day one. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a climb. It's going to be a slog.
Well, you better do it this year.
Has to be this year.
It has to be.
Old team.
Yeah.
And I think this speaks to this as well. Swift from Lincoln says, wouldn't the NIT be a bit disappointing considering it's year 5?
Not at all.
You would think it would be, but given the context of everything that happened the first couple of years, I want to think Fred Hoiberg got a staff together, identified a way to play that fits better with what Nebraska can realistically be.
Yeah.
Make postseason play.
I agree. Take a step up from last year. I even think if you get out of that first day, win a game, I think those are
give yourself a shot at 2.
Those are all first good steps for me, I think, as far as the growth of the program. Because believe it or not, you lost a lot. I mean, you lost a lot of veteran leadership. Now it's up to
Heart
the next
and soul of your team.
Yes. It's up to the next guys to find that. Now, is Rink Mass going to be that for you? Is, certain guys, are you going to get Blaze Keita to step up? What is Jacques going to be to you? So you're going to get to see what a lot of these pieces are to you. And, Williams and where's Jamarcus going to fit in? How is Tamanaga going to lead? You're going to get to see that this year. So it's going to be important.
And you have a bit of an easier lead in your first 7-8 games. So then December hits.
The record looks,
you got to
be ready. And that's why I think I love the scheduling because it gets them home. It gets them comfortable. They don't have to be all gallivanting over the road. Get yourself prepared. Then you go just take a little neutral game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Which gets you away, but yet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that. I like the way they schedule. I think they're giving themselves a shot to do something good, get off to a great start.
I'm with you too. Byron the Hog Farmer. I'm confident we finish in the middle of the Big Ten, if not higher. Don't see many weaknesses with this team. Legit 10 deep, everyone a threat to shoot threes. They forget we had the best record in the Big Ten in February, and we upgraded from the guys that left. Yes and no. Upgraded? Sam Griesel, say what you will about his style of play, made some big plays for this team. Derek Walker was the heart and soul of that team, the hub on offense. Bandamel, losing him mid-season, that was the emotional leader, defensive lockdown guy. I like getting Juwan Gary back. I really like Bryce Williams. I think he's going to be good. Mast is going to be similar but different. Josiah Alec is a big swing piece to me.
Yeah.
And then you need development. The issue with this team, again, though, Strick, I think is going to be size and rebounding. Nebraska's not overly athletic to make up for not being all that tall and bulky. Mast, Alec, Williams, Keita, if he plays, Jop, if they get anything from him, Ramel.
I think you'll be surprised
if he gets better.
I think you'll be surprised at
You
Jop.
do? Yeah?
Yeah, he's a dog. Be surprised at him.
Okay.
He's going to be a go-getter. Here's what I'll say. I think across the board, I'm going to take into account their off-season stuff, right? I think some of the best thing that happened to this team was the fact that they're going over to a European play,
Mhm.
physical style, big centers, maybe not super, but strong physical,
Mhm.
and they're going to beat you up a little bit. And you go over there without your big man because Keita didn't go.
Mhm.
You know, you didn't have
Rank was
Gary.
playing internationally.
Rank was playing internationally. So you went
Cale
over
Jacobson
there.
was playing center.
You went. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So those guys learned a lot about putting bodies, being physical, gang rebounding, everybody making sure that they have body on body, keep your guy from getting to the ball, and team rebounding. Those were lessons that's going to be learned to help them in this year. That's why I hear you, but I think that was a great thing to address that part because it forced them to have to do it as
Mhm.
opposed to just kind of having to rely on, their big guys that they have.
Mhm.
Now, I think Alec on the defensive side, that's one of the things that they hadn't had either, a guy that can be a rim protector. I think
Mhm.
that's what he does. He's got good timing, good feet. He's going to, good help side stuff. Not necessarily going to be a scoring, option. I think this is why I think the style of get it and go. Don't look for a particular player. Get it and go. Because if I get it on the wing, I'm pushing up to an opportunity for one-on-one, drive, kick to shot fake, drive,
backside
rim
kick.
runs.
Mhm.
If your guy, run your butt off, big man, because we're going to find you on drive, second drive, and kicks,
Mhm.
or drive and post feeds,
Yep.
finish. And if not, drive to penetration kick for backflow threes.
Mhm.
I'm telling you that style I think can work good for them. I just don't know what they're going to do with it. I'm going to maybe get down there and see some practices, and before their first exhibition game.
And they got to shoot it. You
Gotta shoot it
got
well.
some
I think they
theoretical
do.
guys,
Yeah,
but
we just don't know.
prove it. Put it
Yeah.
in the basket. Swift from Lincoln, again, the hype he came in with, meaning Hoiberg, and we're just fine with NIT at year 5. Probably should be a bubble team at least, right? That's the hope. If you're winning 9-10 games in the Big Ten, you're going to be on the bubble. But to say that, we're just fine with the NIT in year 5, again, if you have blinders on and you're just looking at the resume, yes, it's disappointing. There was so much hope and promise. But the hope is that Nebraska gets that NIT berth at least this year, got to finish above 500, probably be knocking on the door to 20 wins. I think that's attainable for this team. But that's why you don't give up on a coach right away. Fred Hoiberg adjusted, right? You have to give him credit for making that adjustment. Hasn't been perfect in any offseason, right? There's still more to do, but he saw his style. His recruiting style especially wasn't working. He adjusted. He had a team that was rolling before Gary and Bandamel went down last year.
Yeah.
Went on a little swoon, adjusted again. I think he's deserved a little bit more of a time to get things rolling because he proved he was going to adjust. If we've seen the same old, then yeah, make or break. But this can be a building block here.
Yeah, and then you had the COVID.
Right.
And then you had, like you're saying, the recruiting of the initial style with Abdomasi here.
Mhm.
There were some things that needed to be done and made. And I think they did that. And you definitely saw one of the things that I can say in their first few years that I did not see was identity.
Right.
Didn't see it. I didn't know what this team was. I didn't know what to expect out of this team coming out. I just knew they were going to shoot a lot and miss a lot.
Yeah.
That was what
Yeah.
I saw, right?
Mhm.
But this new team, you can see some identity. You see some grit. You see a little bit of definitely defensive identity. You see a lot more team oriented identity,
Mhm.
whereas you saw a lot of some individuality stuff, but just
Mhm.
didn't know from night in and night out what you were going to get, right?
Right.
So I like that. I like that I can actually see an identity to this team. So you want to see a culmination or a continuation of
Mhm.
those identity building blocks.
You sure do. Swift from Lincoln, Byron the Hog Farmer, Travis as well. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Gingerbeard Man, I am with you. None of this matters because Duke is getting number 6. Amen to that, brother. Tune in to the Corner 3 Sundays
False.
from 3 to 4 here
Fake news.
on 93.7 The Ticket for all your Blue Devil hype. I go off there. I will talk some ACC here coming up soon, so tune in there. You got something on your mind, Strick. You were talking about it next. Set it up for the people.
Yeah, kind of what came to my mind was a rose garden. And it deals with a lot of what we're seeing in sports today, even at the pro level, is, are you smelling too much of yourself? And I have a little bit of an analogy for it. We're going to talk a little bit about that, about how and why the roller coasters of seasons happen and the ups and downs, and how do you get away from that? Well, we love your impact on that as too. I mean, as far as your input, not impact, your input in that. 402-464-5685. We'll dig a little bit deeper into that and how to keep your team at a steady and consistent basis. We'll talk about it. Get back on the block.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken lips. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. It's time to close out the 2023 high school football regular season right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me and the Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman this Thursday and Friday for a doubleheader in the final week of the regular season. First up on Thursday, it's a matchup of 2, 3, and 5 overall teams as they fight for the final playoff spot. Miller North travels to Lincoln to face off against the Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest. And then on Friday, it's a top 10 clash between Gretna and the Lincoln East Spartans. All that and more coming your way this Thursday and Friday for high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to On the Block. E. Strick and Austin Orman back in the building together once again. It is a beautiful day outside today here in Lincoln, Nebraska. We appreciate you for joining us on the block today. Something that just kind of came to my headspace today when I'm looking at, teams that are on these roller coaster rides. They win the big game one week, they'll come back and lay an egg the next. You'll have obviously the Colorado debacle, the 29-0 lead, and then you go in and there's talks of guys having Twitter conversations. They said it might have been even Shedeur Sanders having Twitter conversations in the locker room, and then you lay an egg in the second half and they come back and beat you in overtime. And you'll have, games where guys will beat a great team, and then the next week they'll come back and just won't give the same amount of effort. So the way I viewed this is it's kind of like you have a rose garden, right? You smell the aromas of the rose, very fresh, it smells really good. And, but not knowing that it's only masking the manure that's laid underneath it. Now, the manure is there to help you grow, but it also stinks.
Right.
So you have something underneath the smelling of the fresh aromas of a great win, of a great effort, of all of these things that are happening, but yet you have some rot down there. You know what I mean? You understand where I'm going?
Let me see if I'm on the right track. Nebraska football's win over Illinois is the roses. Nebraska football's loss to Michigan is the manure.
Yeah, in a sense, right? Because guess what? You didn't come out and play with that. Like, I would say if I would have seen that same effort in the Michigan game, I would say you got something. You know what I mean? If you're a boxing fan, right? For example, there was a lot of roses from, obviously Canelo and Charlo just recently, probably was a couple weeks ago, right? Charlo running, talking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you go in the ring and you don't do anything. Like you literally just lay down and give up the ghost, right? You see that on teams. You'll see that where it's kind of the words where guys are playing down to the competition. You see that a lot. Is this a new generation thing, or is this something that's happened in the past? Now, I will say that, some of you guys may not understand this. You may, tap out and go away because this goes over your head or something. That's fine. But it's something that's relevant to me because I remember we used to take a mentality of, we don't care how bad you are, we're trying to stomp you. Like, we want to beat you that bad so that we may be able to rest. There used to be football teams like Nebraska of old that would literally come into a game and try to beat you so bad that by the third quarter, they're resting and allowing these extra guys to get. And it's like, I don't know, is it a selfish thing? Because now is it that guys just want to play the whole game? They don't play. I don't know, man. It's just something that's weird to me. And I hate seeing these roller coaster rides of these types of emotions.
I'll say it's a human thing, but I think it's an easier trap to fall into now. Mm-hmm. I think there are more
with social
ways,
media and stuff. Okay.
Especially with that, with all the money that's being thrown around to players as well, too. Some of it deserved, some of it just for the sake of there being money available. I think it's just a very human thing, right? To take an opponent lightly, to look down on them, and then to inadvertently play like it. Mm-hmm. Upsets have happened since the dawn of sports, right? We root for the underdog, right? Whether that's they just play better, whether that's the favorite coming in and not playing well, overlooking them, whatever it is. Upsets have happened. I don't think it's necessarily a generational divide, but I think it is easier for this generation to fall into that trap. I really do. And that, to me, Strick, is where it comes down to honesty from a player to himself, a coach to a player, a coach to a team. Just because you're winning doesn't mean everything's all great. I talked about this at the end of Happy Hour in the crossover, and this is where I'm going to bring it up. The Minnesota Vikings run away with the NFC North last year, but Strick, they were like something ridiculous, like 8-1, 9-1 in one possession games.
Yeah.
This year, that luck shifts and at the bottom of their division or near it with the Chicago Bears, who are atrocious. That's why I saw that coming, because that's unsustainable. Being good in close games isn't a skill. It's been proven time and time again. I'm not saying the Vikings were smelling themselves, but it seems like they were looking at the roses and forgetting that it takes the manure, the hard work, getting down in the weeds to get that 13-4, 14-3 record and have those roses grow. Colorado, I don't know everything going on in that locker room, but I think with all the roses they got for starting out the way they did, with all the hype they did, maybe, just maybe,
everybody's watching your games,
is looking at the roses like, oh, what a nice garden. Not realizing, hey, the manure's running out underneath. It's not built on something. These roses are going to wilt fast.
That's a fact.
Honesty as a coach is, hey, guys, I'm glad we're winning. Keep it up. We'd rather win than lose. But let's not lose sight of what it takes to win. Let's not lose sight of, hey, maybe we do need to come in after Michigan and practice our right way again on a Sunday. Put that manure down. Help the roses start to spring. And vice versa. Hey, guys, we're losing. It sucks. We need to work harder. We need to get down in the weeds and get dirty. But the roses are going to be worth it. Put the work in. You're right there. They're just about to bloom.
Yeah.
Keep working.
You're on to where I'm going. And Brad says on the text line, he says it's a participation. I've talked about this before. What's the great defensive end 3 technique for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
TJ Watt?
No. Old school.
How old school we talking?
He had the record before TJ Watt.
Oh, Harrison. James Harrison. Mm-hmm.
James Harrison, people were killing him on Twitter because his son brought in a trophy for like 7th place or something like that. And he broke it and said, we ain't keeping this. This ain't no, and told him and says, there's no trophy for 7th place. And he was trying to teach his son a lesson, but they were killing him over it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have to agree with him. I'm like, no, I don't want that. If it ain't first, I don't even want a 2nd place trophy. I mean, I was runner up in the state tournament, and I hated it. I hated looking at runner up. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I love raising the Big 12, Big 8 trophy after beating, those teams and running through that gun. That was good. That felt good. But no, I didn't want that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to agree with Brad. Participation trophy generation, man. I think it's whittled away at it. It's caused people to lose maybe some part of their competitive edge, that killer instinct that's innate in a winner, right?
I get you. I agree with that. So this isn't a but. This is an and alongside of that. Brad says again, they're taught it's okay to lose, just have fun. I
agree with that, but
there's a balance there.
There's a balance.
Because we can say participation trophy generation, it's okay to lose, just have fun. And yet, Strick, what's one of our biggest complaints with youth athletics is parents pushing too hard, is coaches pushing kids past their limits. They're playing one sport. They're not allowed to be kids. So these kids are being pushed harder and harder and harder. So there's not really that middle ground, right? It's you're playing travel baseball, or you're in the, Putz YMCA league with just local kids just for fun. Where's the middle ground? Why can't it be a competitive YMCA league? Why can't it be a laid back travel team? Depending on your resources, depending on how invested you want to get in the sport. Even with basketball, right? Like some kids are playing clubs, some kids aren't. Some kids are just playing for their high school team, right? There's a balance between having fun, learning the skills, and pushing yourself to win, right? I think the other thing, too, to look back on is, okay, you finished runner-up, right? I'm going to use my high school experience. If Lincoln Lutheran had finished runner-up at the state tournament in basketball, in the moment, would have ate me up. It would have been my senior year. But I don't have another chance to do this. We lost. I thought I worked hard enough. I didn't. I don't have another shot at it. And that's where I think the pain of regret is worse than the pain of working hard in the moment. Something Matt Rule talked about as well in one of those videos. Looking back, though, I think that having some perspective is key because Lincoln Lutheran has never finished runner-up in a state tournament before. Even if it wasn't winning state, I think you have to be able to look back at your accomplishments and say, out of everyone else in the class, we were second best. We weren't first best. It's not good enough. But relative to who we are, where we came from, we can still be proud enough of what we accomplished.
Yeah, I have to agree with that sentiment. I think Cupsker has something to say about what you just said, possibly. Cupsker on the Starter Heyman text line says, Ricky Bobby said it best. If you ain't first, you're last. So I think that's kind of that's kind of like a push. I think you're right. I mean, I think there could be a balance. I think you can learn, and I think this is one of the things we're trying to say about the Nebraska team this year, right? Yeah, they're not winning a championship, but they're showing progressive growth, right? You can see something in it that you can take out of even being in the middle of the pack. You don't have to be Lance Armstrong, because Lance Armstrong also had a team that kind of helped him or, moved him up and helped him to win, even PEDs, but that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that, but we're just kind of giving an analogy of the situation, right?
I'll say this too, going back to the manure and the roses. I love that example because you have to love being in the weeds. You have to love the smell of manure, the hard work. But what's the point of planting the roses if you're not going to appreciate them and look at them, right? You have to be able to, not all the time, but sometimes be able to step back and appreciate the work that you did to get those roses to grow, where you started, where you came from. On the flip side, if the roses are meant to be looked at, don't just look at the roses for the roses' sake. Take that holistic big picture. Like, yeah, okay, now's my time. The work is done. Planting season is over. I'm watering. I'm tending to these roses. They look great, but not just standing out there all day and thinking the work is done. I'm just going to look at these roses. They'll be fine on their own. You still got to water. You still got to put more manure down. There's a time to work. There's a time to reflect. They have to go hand in hand because too much either way, I think you miss the beauty of the entire picture.
So in this situation, I'll throw it at you then. We're now about to see what coming off a bye week, right? What would you like to see in reference to the Rose Garden of Nebraska coming off of this bye week? What would you have liked to see? More watering? Maybe a little bit more manure, maybe a little pruning. What would you like to see in coming off of the bye week?
More manure always. More manure. I think you have to fall in love with the work. It goes back to what I said too, of embracing the grind of that Sunday practice.
Dirty,
get
stinky,
down and dirty. Be
grimy.
okay with it.
Yeah.
Don't just be okay with it. Accept it. Embrace it. Love it.
Yeah.
I think watering is important as well. because you're not adding reinforcements midseason, right? You're not planting more roses.
Yeah.
The guys on the team are the guys on the
got.
team. You got to water them. You got to do your best to develop them throughout these 6 games.
Prune
them to some degree, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There is absolutely no snopping and smelling the roses at this point. Matt Rule said as much. I think he said something to the effect of, there's so much big picture thinking at Nebraska that the day-to-day details that add up to the big picture get lost and aren't emphasized enough. To me, those big picture looking back, stopping and smelling the roses, you can't do as a 6-6 team. Even if it's a step in the right direction, you're not even thinking about 6-6. Right now, you're thinking about how to get to 4-3. You're thinking about 1 week against Northwestern, putting that poop down, spreading it around, making sure the seed's packed in tight, and watering it. That is the only thing your focus can be.
And this is where I think some top tier teams end up faltering, right? Is Georgia falling into this category? Because they're not taking that same I would say last year was a dominating.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
One of the best teams of all time.
So I have to wonder, looking at the season, of how or is it just other teams are just either better or fighting a little bit harder, or are they smelling themselves? I think this Brock Bowers loss
Watch
can
out.
put a lot of strain on what's left of this Georgia team. I think that's going to put a strain on them a little bit. But
here's the thing. The difference between Stetson Bennett and Carson Beck.
Right.
Stetson Bennett grinded for everything he had. Carson Beck, not going to say he hasn't worked hard, but he was a highly rated recruit. Yeah. He's the quarterback, the soul of that team, supposed to be the leader of the offense. Is there a difference just in that mindset from the quarterback position on down?
Great point. I mean, hey, this is some stuff we can thank you guys for your engagement as well. I mean, it's something that just came to my mind, man. Thanks for taking that by the reins as well and kind of adding to that, because I didn't know how to develop it, but I just saw it. I saw it because I'm seeing it in all different types of sports. This is why I think you have Cinderellas.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I think you have
Florida Atlantic
March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because of just that type of thing.
Purdue gets into the tournament as a number 1 seed, and they smell themselves. Oh, we're tall, they're small, we got this.
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it personally, even when we were used to playing AAU back in the day. Oh, this Nebraska. We come in there, but we come in there and beat the brakes off of people. You know what I'm saying? It was, so they look at you all funny and half cockeyed, and they just think they're going to run through you. And it's what you do in that moment to either punch them back in the mouth. Everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the mouth, right?
Sure do.
This is a thought. Thank you guys for engaging with us as well. We're going to take a break and cross it over with DP and Jay in Old School right after this.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Husker fans, head coach Amy Williams and your Husker women's basketball team want to see you at Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. Season tickets are on sale now. Reserve your spot to cheer on the Huskers as they take on some of the best teams in the Big Ten and around the country. Opponents include Creighton, Maryland, Indiana, Iowa, and more. To buy tickets, go to huskers.com/tickets or call 1-800-8-BIG-RED. They have a full season of fun set for this year. For promotional information, visit huskers.com.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mostly sunny skies with a high of around 73. Tonight, partly cloudy with a few sprinkles possible, the low of around 55. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers, otherwise partly sunny and breezy with an afternoon high of around 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Bucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to On the Block. Yes. This is a crossover with DP and Jay, but Jay is in the building. What up, Jay Money? How you doing, man?
I'm stupendous. I'm good, man. Yeah.
I had a little analogy, man. It just kind of, I don't know, man. I just do. I'm a kind of a visionary, and I saw something just based on the sporting the landscape of sports today, and and what I thought about is a rose garden, and the rose garden being that teams of the day, and why we have a lot of roller coasters, and why 1 week from the next you beat a team, or you have the Colorado where you go from 7 million to 8 million to 10 million, and then you let Stanford come in there and you 29-0 and you take an L, or you almost get clipped by Arizona State, so stuff like that, right? Because you start smelling. So on top in the rose garden, the roses are in bloom. They smell. It's refreshing. It's really tantalizing. But then not understanding that underneath that is some manure, so it's really stanky. It's really stanky underneath. But you walk by.
That just made my day, man. Yeah, but go ahead.
And what happens is you start smelling the roses, not knowing that the manure is really stanky underneath.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's why you get a lot of this undulation as far as playing down to your
because the manure is always going to be there. The potpourri, or what's it called, potpourri, and the Lysol will kind of
like when you go in the bathroom, you spray the potpourri in the joint.
It would lessen it.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, it's still funky. You got bad pipes. Yeah, you got bad foundation or whatever, and and that's the way you see it. I think, in particularly looking at Colorado, I think what happens is when you have success instantly, and you can't deal with success. Then you face an opposition. And, the Oregon game was unique because you're coaching against 2 or 3 coaches that were helping you get beat, right? And Oregon's first of all, they're way more talented. They're a better team. To that magnitude, maybe not so much. And then when you have the Stanford thing, is how do you deal with success? You have, when you're up there, you're 29-0. You're like, oh, it's just a matter of time. The game's over. You think Stanford's going to quit. Well, then you lose a game that you thought you had in your back pocket. It's no different than Miami against Georgia Tech. How you deal with success tells you more about yourself and your team than how you deal with a loss.
I would have to agree. And so let's even go a little bit deeper, right? Because what ends up happening too, I think I don't know. I had a question of is it a generational thing? Is this something that maybe we deal with, but we kind of looked at it a little bit different? Some people said on here that it's the participation trophy era, but I want to look also on the personal level, because I think that happens too as to why the transfer portal is sometimes crazy, but you don't normally see a lot of upward mobility. You see a lot of downward trajectory because some people have been smelling the roses of what people in the neighborhood have been saying, what your uncles and aunts been saying, what even your parents, as Austin had talked about, was saying. Right. And then you start smelling the roses, but you're not looking at yourself. You're not applying the work. You thinking, oh, coach this, and he ain't giving me that. And no, go take that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. I thought of it on that level in a personal reference as well.
It's all kind of hodgepodge in it. And, going to Colorado is unique in the sense of you have a coach that was outwardly saying that he was going to look into the portal, but he knew he had to because of just the lack of talent and losing there. And so Colorado, it's the perfect storm. But then when you look at overall the transfer portal, you look at the inconsistency of teams, inconsistencies of football teams, position groups, players, always down to that. It just comes down to how do you deal with success, and are you really internally motivated to be, the best that you can be? And here's the one thing that Nebraska has to be wary of, and this is what a lot of high school kids fall in the trap of.
This is a good point. Let's do a station identification real quick, then we'll get that answered.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Sometimes people lose the sight of, they think moving around and just movement, they don't differentiate that and progress.
Still boo-boo. It's still manure.
But there's a difference, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're going to practice and you're running around and all that stuff without a purpose, you ain't progressing nowhere.
Right.
You're actually regressing because you're doubling down every single day of not getting better or finding something to be motivated about. But you could go to practice and be working at something for weeks on end and only get the payoff 4 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
Or in a practice where, like, okay, I finally get this type of defense. So then that boils into every other thing you're doing. Then all of a sudden, you people say, "Oh, well, he's playing good at the at the end of the season." Well,
or injury.
Or an injury.
Yeah, like somebody, like your preparation,
Right.
like you're saying, your preparation this week shouldn't be based on the fact of what you.
Right. Everything's conditional with these kids. A lot of these kids.
Right.
Right.
So
I'll work hard.
I'll
I'll work hard if I know I'm a guaranteed.
Or I'll run this route if I know I'm going to get the ball.
Right.
Then you're giving tails.
Right.
Like, so cornerbacks is like, oh, he ain't doing nothing. It's
So
a run.
the guys that are really out there trying to really get it, and the teams that really are out there trying to get it, and it could be created through culture and stuff like that. But a lot of the problems I think manifest from the youth and these coaches, whether it's AAU coaches, club teams, trainers, and all that. There's not a lot of guys teaching them the game, and then they get out there and you play against some dudes that know the game. They work hard as you. They're just as big as you. They're fast as you, and sometimes bigger, faster, and stronger. So when you face adversity, you have spent sometimes a whole season and you don't know how to deal with it because all you've been hearing a lot of stuff and they ain't been listening.
Right.
And that's where people fall in the trap. That's where coaches fall in the trap. And that's where, you lose sight of yourself. Because when you go around and you find out, like, when you think of like Jimbo Fisher, how has he squandered an opportunity like Texas A&M? When you think about stuff that's happened here, how have you squandered? I'm talking about past coaches. How have you squandered a once in a lifetime opportunity?
Yeah.
How has that happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you up there think you got the magic. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. There's no magic way to play football. There's one way, and it's the right way. And if you don't do certain things the right way, you ain't never going to win. Now, what I mean by win is be a winner. You might have a flash in the pan where everything lines up.
I email Tucker.
Great. But if you're not okay, yeah, I'll give you
TCU?
yeah,
TCU last year?
Yeah, right. You had that magical year, but I'm talking about year in and year
consistency, right?
Because the consistency is a byproduct of what you've done for I don't know how long,
and out of the spectacle of the camera and the eyes, what they can see.
That's when you got to do
That's
your
when
most
the work
work.
is done.
That everybody was talking about like confidence, right? What is confidence? Right? I mean, really, where do you get the
confidence? Is just an assurity of the preparation that you put in the time.
Right.
All time.
If you step into a competitive environment or have a big presentation or have something that or even if you're going into, ask for a raise or a new job title, you should be nervous because that actually means you care, right? You care about yourself. You care about the place that you work or where you perform, and then you care about the outcome. Now, there is no guarantee just because you care that it's going to come out to your favor. But the confidence to step out into the arena and to go out there and play, that ain't got nothing to do with what you see with the cameras on.
I'm going to throw this at both of y'all because recently, I think this is a good example as well. And I'll throw it to you first. The young fella, Mikey Williams, is now in some trouble.
He done.
Right? Is this part of this situation that we're kind of finding ourselves in where you're and I'm not
look at that tow truck, man. Not to call you out. Look, I was up at 4:30 this morning watching Heat. That's my favorite movie. It was a tow truck like that when they hit him.
I remember.
Hey,
that.
let's go get it.
I remember.
We run that right up into one of these banks. Bang. Go ahead.
So no, real talk. But I've seen this happen. It's not even just Mikey Williams because I've seen like Seventh Woods and I've seen other internet. Yes,
he's on his way.
So okay. So I just wanted to throw that out, and I'll let you guys, go back and forth on that one.
I think you're onto something there. Definitely. I mean, Mikey Williams, Seventh Woods, Thonmaker back in the day. You know, these mixtape gods.
Yes.
Look like everything coming out of high school.
Rodney Fields.
Yes.
We see those stories all the time. The thing that gives me hope for those guys, funny enough, is Imani Bates, who was in similar trouble to Mikey Williams. He, next KD, next LeBron hype coming out of high school, went to Memphis, tough situation, weird situation, some of it his doing, some of it not. Gets the criminal charges, the misdemeanor, whatever it was, goes back to Ypsilanti, Michigan, out of the way, out of the spotlight. Yes, he's shouldering a big load for an Eastern Michigan team, but it's closer to home, closer to a support system. He grows from it into an NBA draft pick. He's got to earn it in the NBA. It's not given. It wasn't promised to him like it was 3 years ago, but he made the best of it. Mikey Williams, we'll see if he has that chance.
Yeah.
John Morant, after sitting out 25 games, has a chance to make something. But what Imani Bates did was he went to the shadows. He got to work, and he got back on track.
Right.
You hope every athlete has that chance.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes a big, really it takes some humility.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of these kids don't have or people don't have is the humility of, okay, I didn't perform well. There is other, factors into it. Memphis was loaded. He had to get used to getting really coached by Penny, and you weren't coached like that with your AAU team. And you was skinny as a rail, and so you had to get back and get your game right. And so he had to go back to a place to where it wasn't, it wasn't a winning team, but you had to go back to where a coach was going to push you and you had confidence. So it takes humility to do that, and that's what makes a great comeback story. And now he's a second-round pick. He actually should have been a late first-round pick, but he is where he's at, and he's in a good space for him. Right, he's in a great situation.
The Cavs are good.
I just think that dealing with success is the hardest thing for these kids to do because they've been given a free reign of success. A lot of these kids have been reading about themselves on the internet since 7th grade, 6th grade, and I might even before that. I mean, you got parents up here talking about what their kid gonna do, and the kid ain't even 4th grade talking about he going to the league.
Baby Gronk.
Right. Yeah, Baby Gronk, one of those things. But then you got to think, and I was telling somebody this, maybe when we were at the old station, I said, there's dudes at Nebraska that ain't even played as many plays as I played in one game throughout their whole career. They have more social media and pictures that they have than I had, and I was a 4-year starter. So imagine this, right? Where you come in from high school and you are just say a 4-star recruit.
I mean,
right?
I was him.
Right. Just say a 4-star recruit, and you done played on all the circuits, and you've played for an Adidas team, you played for a Nike, whatever it is. And then you got to come in here and then you face a dude like, hey, you might face Austin. He's like, hey, I ain't never seen nobody like that.
Straight haven't.
And now I'm facing adversity because he ain't backing down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you ain't never, and then you know what? Maybe you had a coach that was trying to
show you that
where you left him because another coach got in your ear that actually don't care about you. All he wanted to do is use you to get other kids and use you on your platform.
Yeah.
But then the coach that you left and turned your nose up at could have got you more prepared. Now you looking Austin in the face, Strick in the face, Jay Foreman in the face. Now you 4th team. You ain't never been 4th team your whole life. So in order to deal with it, you gotta
transfer portal.
Yeah, but then what happens is
down though.
Sometimes like Imani Bates, but guess what happens though? This is the thing about the transfer portal. For every Justin Fields, for every Kenneth Walker III, for every Keon Coleman, for all the great stories, there are thousands that don't work out. And those are circumstances too. It could be injury, playing time, opportunity. But a lot of times those guys in the middle ground, right? And I always say this is like a basketball team, right? Strick, you got a roster of 10. You know this, Austin. Your first 4 starters, your first 4 players, they're the ones that are going to show up on time. They're going to work. The 5th starter, depending who it is, can go either way. Generally, they'll be with the 4, right? Let's say that. Then the bottom part of your rosters, just say 8, 9, 10, are happy that you're actually coaching them, going to show up and work like they're 1 through 4, and will eventually improve. Where your problem is, what separates good teams from great teams, average teams from good teams, is your 5, 6, 7, and sometimes 8, because those are the guys that are in like no man's land. So where they're in small groups, and they'll go, and they're your best recruiter.
They could either be your cancer, or they could either be your
your
manure to help you grow.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but they're the best recruiters.
Yeah.
Because if they're not getting what they perceive that they deserve, they're going to recruit 2 people right there. So now you, instead of a team of 10, now you're down to 7. Well, if he recruits another figurehead, now you're out there playing 4-on-5 and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's where the transfer portal is, because a lot of times those middle guys right there,
they think they should, but
they haven't put the work in.
There it is.
Right. They haven't dealt with adversity. But here's what it is. When they get in the portal, those same habits that they displayed at said university
don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
It's still there.
But you know what? That's why they call it a transfer portal. They're transferring it to another
come
place.
On, you better let me smack you.
No, that's all right, man. But they transfer it to another place.
Talk your stuff. That's
and
right.
it comes with you.
Yes.
And that's the thing. That's the problem.
Yes.
And it's a hard thing to deal with.
Look, and I promise I'm not coming down, but we knew what Jeff Sims was at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, but
I'm not coming down on him. I'm just saying we knew.
Here's the thing. Here's what coming. But here's what a coach always says, and Austin knows this. You always feel like, because it's different opportunity, because he came in, they ran like the wing tee or something. It was like they were like the triple option, right?
The Paul Johnson Navy stuff, yeah.
And then they went to a passing offense. So you're like, okay, well, he never really probably got coached. He did get hurt. If we can get him in our system, accentuate his positives,
good stuff.
And then help him work on his deficiencies, we can get the best version of Jeff Sims. I think you saw the worst. I don't think it's
going to be that bad.
Yeah, I would tell you he wouldn't play like that. Throughout the whole season, it just was bad timing. It wasn't the best.
And then he got the injury,
right?
So he didn't get a chance to.
He didn't get a couple. He didn't get the couple layups.
Yeah,
and that's just circumstances. That's the way it goes. But if he stays to the grind, works.
I like that he's still cheering,
right? But if he uses his time, effectively, he will when counted upon. That's your lasting memory, or that's the one that you go into the offseason with. Because if he works on his footwork, the playbook, the timing, all that stuff, mental reps, getting off, then when he gets ready to go, then you'll see
the best part of it, the best version.
Right.
There it is.
There you go. That's on the block for today. He's Strick, joined by Jay. I'm Austin Norm. It's been a blast, fun 2 hours. It's flown by. Don't go anywhere, though. We got 2 more quick hours of radio. Old school DP&J coming up next here, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard, increase security, and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire